New
Your boring dad
Yorker
who likes the New Yorker.
who likes the New Yorker and then ends up being my best. Oh, well,
Mm-mm.
I'm going to cut that.
Mm-mm. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I was going to say ends up being my best friend that we eat pasta with at the dinner table. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Top 5. Um, we're really excited about this week because I think last week we talked a little bit about questions that we had about the first season of Heated Rivalry, and now
Yes.
we're going to switch back to our boy Ilya, Tyra.
Ilya
Right?
Rozanov. Listen, we had a Shane list a couple weeks back talking about how brave he was. But now we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about, the bravery, all of the other amazing qualities are the things that made Ilya fall. Like, and fall hard, y'all. Listen,
Yeah,
that boy
obsessed.
went down. That boy went down and could not get back up, right? Down very bad. And so this list, we are talking about the down bad moments for Ilya, where just
Mm-hmm.
the allure, the presence of Shane, it was just too much for him.
Yeah.
He is powerless to stop it.
And
We love
we
it.
get it. We get it. And honestly, it's one of the things that we love most
Listen.
about Ilya is that he just loves the good, the bad, the
He
happy, the
does.
sad
He's a lover
of
boy
Shane. He's
and
a
heart. He's a lover
lover
boy.
boy. And so we're going to talk about some of these moments. And of course, this only applies to season 1 non-book Ilya. Okay. So this isn't talking about long game. It is not about the book. It's not talking about season 2. We're talking about what we saw on screen. So with that, Tyra, what is our number 5 most down bad Ilya Rozanov moment in
Down bad.
season 1?
Well, y'all, number 5. Starting off, we have Ilya Rozanov, who just can't get enough of Shane digitally. Okay. He is constantly on a television screen. Wherever Shane is going to be on the television screen, Ilya is going to be there to
Period.
see it. He's going to be there to see
Period.
it. Listen, he's supporting his man from afar. But I am talking about him watching interviews. We all remember when he sat there in episode 4 and watched that cottage documentary, lying to Svetlana talking about, I was just so bored out of my mind.
I'm going to sleep.
You so bored to the fact that you cataloged everything in that documentary, like, oh, Shane
Yeah.
does yoga on the dock. Ooh, look at the floor plan. He knows the layout of the cottage, y'all.
Hello.
Do we all
Hello.
remember? Do you all remember Shane said, I had it built? Oh, I know so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet you do, Elliot,
Oh, I
because
know so.
you stalk that man. Um, and
Mhm.
one of my favorite ones, the episode 4 montage, when we see Shane finally win the cup and Ilya is there looking at it on television alone,
Oh.
not with any friends, because we see him later on in the season with other people when Scott Hunter is playing, he's watching it, but he's alone, completely by himself. And the look of like
Baby.
pride and happiness and joy, Nicole,
I
you
know.
see on his face, that is a perfect indication
I
because
know.
when you watch someone who you love, their dreams come true, it just almost supersedes having your own dreams fulfilled or you working towards a goal or something. There's
Mhm.
something visceral
Mhm.
about that when you see someone you love and they finally gotten to the peak of like their career, something they worked so hard for. And you see that all over his face during that moment. And I love it so much. He just, oh, you could just feel the warmth and the love that he felt for Shane
Yeah.
getting to that moment in history. And there's so many instances where him just like stepping back and watching Shane, watching how Shane, even Nicole, like when they're doing that press conference with each other, in episode 2 before the All-Star game, where Shane just takes over and he gets a firsthand seat of like how good he is, how Shane
Yeah.
will try and how Shane helps, him
He
or
wants the
anyone
best for
else.
everybody. Yeah.
He does. He does. It's so good.
Yeah. I think those were some of the best moments that Jacob included in the season.
Yeah.
Is obviously Shane does not know any of this. They don't talk about it really ever, but I
Yeah.
think that it's lovely to see that, normally if you were to think about a rivalry between two players in a sport,
Mhm.
There would be a sense of, like, jealousy or wanting to, like, one up each other, but, like, when you see those moments like what you just talked about where Ilya is, like, looking at Shane 2 years after Ilya won, right? And you saw Shane
Yeah.
looking at Ilya and just kinda being touched, and also it was a little different because he was a little hurt, they hadn't been talking
Yeah,
for
yeah.
months, and, like but you still saw this sense of, like, pride and, like, he's proud of him, and so to see that 2 years later where, Shane is winning his first cup and yeah, Ilya's alone and you just feel this sense of like what could be like, I'm gonna take that from him next year, like he doesn't deserve it,
Yeah.
or like, oh, I
Mm.
should have played better. There was almost this sense of like, I'm so glad he got one. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I didn't want if I wasn't gonna win, the only other person I would want to win this is him, was, like,
Mhm.
the sense that I got from that look that Ilya and Connor portrayed in that moment. It was just like, "You deserve this more than anyone else, and I could
Yeah,
not be
yeah,
happier and prouder than I am
yeah,
in this moment," and I
yeah.
love that we got that shot of him doing that, and even the next year when they won again,
They
because
go back
Shane
to
is
back.
Mr. Dynasty. This is a dynasty
Listen,
man.
listen, listen.
But you see Ilya and it's like he's then surrounded with friends and, is like joking around like, "That should have been me, that should have been me," but then he's immediately texting Shane and it's like, "You're lucky," or
Yeah,
whatever, and it's just like,
exactly.
he just couldn't be more excited for the fact that his man is winning back to
Mhm.
back.
Mhm. And listen, you hit the nail on the head. His man, like, when did the shift happen where he started thinking of him as his? Like, this is my man.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you can
Mhm.
just see, like, to your point, Shane goes back to back after that. And it's just like, you're not even thinking about as Ilya, your place in history, right? Because you've been irregularly tied with Shane as you are the top two players.
Yeah.
And Shane has surpassed you at this point, and he's just like, couldn't care less at this point. I mean, there of course is some pride within, you want to win, but also he couldn't be more proud of Shane and like what Shane has accomplished, and knowing that like only Shane could be the one to accomplish this. Like no one
Correct.
else could do this, what Shane
No
Hollander has
one
done.
else. No,
No.
and then you even think about little things like, okay, as two people, you and I, who are fans of a niche sport, tennis, when it
Yeah.
comes to things like a documentary on someone's home, you have to know the day and time and channel that's happening on.
You
Because
do.
that's not
Back then
well,
too?
especially in, like, what, 2014, 15, like, that's not on ABC, like, that is not something being broadcast and
No.
everybody in the world knows it, like, Ilya saw this or is looking this up and it's like, "I have to be seated to
Yes.
get this
For
live, like, broadcast of this moment."
for a hockey documentary in the US of A. Like, I
Like,
don't
what
know
are
how
they
hockey
talking
ranks in
about?
overall sports in America, but it ain't 1, 2, or 3.
I
I don't
can tell
think.
you that's not it.
It's
As someone
not.
who has spent money on the tennis channel to see, like, a documentary on something this
Girl,
big, like, I'm sorry. Ilya, you were down bad in that moment,
you
and
were
I
down
get it.
so bad. Watching every interview or the fact that he's, like, commenting on Shane, like, speaking French and how perfect he is.
Oh my god,
Oh,
and
of
obsessed with
course.
it. He's so
Obsessed
obsessed. He's
from the very
obsessed.
beginning. From the very beginning, he could not help but, like, scroll and see Shane.
No. Or even,
I
like,
love it.
if you saw him in, yeah, the first episode where he's watching him at practice alone, right, after they
Yeah,
introduce each other, it's like,
yeah.
he literally from that moment could not help himself, and we love it. We love it.
We love it. So, Nicole, what do we have at our number 4 ranked spot? Ilya down bad as
Whew. Well, this is one of my favorite moments that I was shocked by. When I first saw it in the still, I was like,
the still.
"Ah!" Like,
The
I literally
still.
I
The
couldn't help
still
myself.
girl.
And that was Ilya watching Shane sleep in episode 4 of Tuna Melt.
Mm,
Because what? Okay, well, first off, kudos to Jacob. Kudos to
yeah.
Jacob because in order to bring that inner monologue of what Ilya was feeling at that moment to Shane, you had to show it to us some way. And that was such a
Mhm.
brilliant way to show that, like, there was a change with Ilya when it came to his feelings with Shane. And I like that moment alone just It changed so much within the course of just, like, that larger scene because, obviously, at that point, we had already had Ilya pretty much beg Shane to stay over, right?
Yeah.
But very much Ilya rested on the fact that it was like, "I'm not done with you yet." So if you're a viewer, it could just be like, "Well, okay, like, he just wants to continue to, like, have sex with him and, like, be close to him and do the things they've always done. It is what it is. Fine."
Mhm.
But then when they cut from him saying that to this scene where Shane has no idea, and still to this day has no idea that Ilya did this, right?
Yeah.
But Ilya is just looking at Shane, and you see on his face, and Connor played this really well, that it's like Ilya's kind of in a way like discovering in real time what this moment means, and it's just like you can feel like I don't even want like if you're Ilya, like I don't even want to breathe too hard or make any sudden movements because I don't want this moment in time to end.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I'm
exactly what it is.
I'm
Yeah.
in this perfect moment with this
Yeah.
guy that I have been obsessed with since the moment I knew who he was. And he's in
Mhm.
my bed right now. He is content. He's asleep in my arms. I have him exactly where I want him. And I will do anything for this moment to last.
Yeah.
And like,
You it
ah,
it's so good. First of all, it's lit beautifully. That
I
scene
can't.
is
I
lit
can't.
so beautifully, and there's a haziness
So good.
over it because this is like Ilya's dream come to life, right? To actually wake up next
Yes.
to Shane, something that he had been wanting to do for multiple episodes now. Um and the fact that he gets to do it, like, before I even get into the sleeping part of it, like, just the fact of, like, thinking about Ilya waking up out of that sleep with Shane in his arms, like, his nose pressed up against Shane's hair, like, he is all of his senses are surrounded by Shane, and he could
Yeah.
not be happier, like, this is the greatest moment of his life, the best and only place that he wants to be, and then for him, just in that moment to, like, revel in Shane actually, like, saying yes and being there with him, choosing that. And him getting to,
Hmm.
like, just bask in, like, Shane as a person and just
Ugh.
when you just watch someone sleep, you are just in your mind, you're just thinking about the future, like the present, like who they are to you, what they can be in
No.
your life, and all of these things are going on in Ilya's head. And
Mm.
Connor, to your point, just plays it so well because you can see the
Mhm.
adoration in it, and he's so in so deep. And this is also like literally, or I feel like really the only time where you see Ilya and it's just pure love. There's no kind of underlying like fear that this moment may end or anything. He's just purely in it. It's
Yep.
just
Yep.
love for Shane.
It's
It's
just
just
love.
reveling in that moment with him, um, which I
Yes.
love. And then his, like, faux wake up, like,
That's the thing. Oh my god, he played
oh,
that Connor
oh,
played
he
that so
played that
well where it's like,
so
mm,
perfectly. That
it's
faux
so
wake
good.
up
It's
is
so
so
good.
good.
Oh
I
my
love
god,
it.
Hudson played it so well where Shane looks back and he immediately is smiling because like, Shane, unlike Ilya,
It's
I think at least, actually slept and, like, took a nap. I don't think Ilya slept one bit. And I just think, like, Shane was so content, and that can mean I mean, for someone like Ilya whose life mission is to do nothing but please Shane in that way, like, knowing that, like, Shane is safe and content and happy and, like, fulfilled and, like, wants to be there is, like,
yeah,
everything for him,
yeah.
and it's just, like, as we know from Rachel's, dialogue and, excerpt that she had that like he had been planning this for so long and like at least at this point in time the way that Jacob Elise wrote this moment where he's looking at him it's like everything is working in Ilya's favor like this is
Yeah.
exactly where he wants to be and where he wants Shane to be
Mhm.
and yeah I just like I found that to be when you looked at least up until that point the most peaceful moment that you had of Shane and Ilya um that didn't feel like manufactured or didn't feel like, miscommunication or didn't feel like something that
Mhm.
it was like, no, like if we were to see Shane and Ilya as Shane and Ilya without all of the pomp and circumstance or the fake like the fake thoughts that they feel like they have to walls they have to put up or
Yeah.
whatever it is, it's like that's what it would be and the
Mhm.
stillness of them. And it just was like such a beautiful scene, and I'll never forget
Yeah.
when we got that still of Ilya's
Yes.
eyes open and Shane sleep. We were like,
Shane sleeping. Give me that scene now, better not be cut. Because it's also like that scene is like a prelude, right? It's a precursor. It's a small moment that like Ilya is trying to lead up to something more.
yeah,
You know, it's
yeah,
just I'm gonna ask him to stay. I'm gonna have him sleep in my arms. I'm gonna make him some food. I'm gonna like just
mhm,
talk to him. I'm gonna have him stay the night. He's just like it's a small precursor to like what he ultimately wants to happen with Shane.
ugh,
But we see kind of how that turned out.
uh, but he was
But
damn
he got in
bad.
there. He was down horrendous. He
He
was
was
down
down
horrendous.
bad.
He was.
Okay, so Tyra, what is our number 3 down bad Ilya moment on our list?
So our number 3 down bad Ilya moment is Ilya, grappling with the jealousy. Okay. This is
Mm.
Ilya asking Shane 20 million ways, are you still with that girl? Are you still with that girl or nah? Because that's really what he really wanted to say to Shane. We are at Tampa at the
Listen.
All-Star game, and he literally is trying to come up with every single way, every single iteration, instead of really like asking that man, are you and Rose still together? He's like asking about his new clothes, does that have something to do with Rose? Did you bring anyone? And Shane, oh, part of me, like, my little, like, petty heart just wishes Shane had done it on purpose. He didn't. But when Shane is just like, yeah, I was going to ask my parents to come. And Ilya gives him a look like, bitch, you know that's not what I was
That's
asking
not
you.
what I'm asking you. I do not care about David and
Li-
Yuna, babe.
Not at
Do
this
not
moment.
care.
I really don't. I really don't care if they are here with you. I love it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so good.
hearing the word compatible and then asking about that later when they're on the beach scene. It's just all of these little moments. And like, what is the precursor to this? Like Iliad having a doom spiral and scrolling and seeing every single paparazzi pic of Shane
Mhm.
and Rose and just like needing to know like what's going on with you two. Are you
Yeah.
still together? Is she still in your life? Are you about to get married to her? Like, have you finally
Hello?
found your happily ever after? Because, like how we always talk about, when the show first starts, they're very young. They're 18, they're 19. But now,
Mhm.
when we're in this moment, we're in the point where you start settling down. You're 25, 26. You start wanting to have a real long term relationship with someone. And what does that look like? And so Ilya, of course, is just thinking, well, you ran the hell out of my house. So I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know what's happening in your life right now. I'm not a part of it, but is Rose a part of it? Like, I need to know what part she's playing in this new version of Shane that has like walked in with all of this confidence and bravado to Tampa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love this so much. One, because to this day, Shane is none the wiser of the fact that, like, Rose made Ilya spiral so much that, like, I don't I think if Shane found out, he would be shocked. And that, like, even the line of
Yeah.
questioning that he had in episode 5 was not just, like, Ilya making small talk. It's like, no, this guy for the last 3, 4 months has been, like, struggling to the
Yeah.
point where when you ask him in episode 6, "Are you jealous?" It's crazy that you're asking that because I forget, oh, yeah, you have no clue that, like
He has no background knowledge of all this down badism that Ilya has exhibited. He has
like,
no knowledge.
Ilya has created a new layer down bad that we didn't even know could happen. Um, but I really loved the way that they played it in the show and, where you had Ilya trying to act very nonchalant at the beginning, and it
Yeah.
basically lasted maybe 45 seconds. And then it was like, "All right, I actually need to know if this Rose, gal, Rose Landry is actually gonna
First
be
and last
here."
name.
Knows
Rose
never
Landry.
I think that's what's so funny, yeah. Like, I can't even picture her of just Rose, it's like Rose Landry. Because that's how Ilya read about her in the tabloids and,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
online, so that's the version that we get in the show is, like, Ilya, it's Rose Landry, and that is who she is to us too. And I just
Mm.
thought that it was just very interesting that the thing I mean, and it's very much telling of Ilya and his relationship to Shane. He's never one to, like, at least on purpose, put Shane in an uncomfortable situation. Um, and so, yeah, this 5 lines of questioning is because he's trying to find the way that is, like, comfortable for Shane and to ask this question, but get the answer that he needs. But he realizes, like, in the first few ways that he's asking about Rose,
Yeah.
Shane, it's not because you're not being point blank direct to him, as we know our neurodivergent, amazing Shane needs that, like, Shane's just answering exactly what you ask. So,
Exactly,
like,
exactly, and Ilya's not asking it plainly because also there's a level of
no.
protection, like, you don't wanna be transparent because you don't know what that will entail, right?
Yeah,
Like,
like,
is
I'm
Shane
not
gonna
supposed to care
reject
this
me?
much.
Exactly, I'm
Yeah,
cool,
yeah,
I'm not supposed
yeah.
to care this now, I don't know what you're gonna reject me, but you can't tell Shane about the doom scrolling that you did or that, like, how it killed you every time you saw their names together in a paparazzi magazine or
Hello?
something. Like, how that actually killed you to see. And it
Exactly.
and it did. Like, it's okay if you let him know because Shane is, like, also needling in that moment. He's trying to, like,
He wants
check
to
the
know how
temperature
you
and see where they
feel.
are. Exactly, because he knows how he left episode 4. He's trying to
Yeah.
make amends. He's trying to, like it's the, like, thing that you do as you're a child, like, "Are you still mad at me?"
Right, right,
Very much,
right.
"Are you still mad at me or no?" And it's
But
like
it as a viewer, though, it was like, I remember watching this episode for the first time, and it was like, "Oh my god," the first, like, 20 minutes of this is just Ilya asking about Rose in the most creative, down bad ways, and Shane just, like, not realizing at all, and it's just, like, he's literally hanging on every word that you're saying and, like, really trying to figure out if he still has a chance here, and, for Shane, obviously, we know as an audience that he's coming in also trying to figure out his relationship with Ilya, but
yeah.
just not understanding that that's also what Ilya is doing until maybe the beach scene where it gets a little bit
Mhm.
more concrete and
Yeah.
Ilya's like, I'm gonna ask straight out, like, about what Rose is to you and, like, what she means and where y'all are. But up until that point, it's like, oh my gosh, like, I think it even shocked Ilya in a sense about, like, how down bad he was about that situation because, yeah, like,
Yeah, yeah, when
for
he's staring at himself in the mirror looking like he's about
oh,
to die of consumption, like,
by the way, I've
I don't know why you didn't
never
know.
seen Connor look like that. Like, it's just
Never.
like,
He
this
looks
is
sick.
crazy.
He looks
He
ill,
looks he
truly.
looks ill, which is, like, exactly what Ilya was feel Ilya
Yeah.
was ill. Like, literally, it felt like Ilya was like, "I'm sick to my stomach over this." Like,
Yeah.
that is what
Yeah.
that scene represented, and it's crazy that he was able to portray that in that way because that
Yeah.
is exactly
Yes.
how it felt.
Maybe that's called being heartsick, it happens to the best of us. Okay,
Ooh.
Nicole, what do we have at our number 2 rank spot?
I lost the list.
Something.
We have something. Okay, wait. So at our number 2 spot, we have Ilya remembering Shainisms. And as we know, if one thing Ilya is gonna do, it's gonna be observe Shane. And that
Yeah.
is exactly what we at least noticed he did throughout a lot of season 1, both on screen and off screen. One
Yep.
of them being, as we know, during the episode 4 moment where he clocked that Shane loves him some ginger ales. And we don't know how that happened,
The
but that
randomest of
meant
facts.
so random. But that meant a lot of off-screen things were happening where Ilya was studying and researching and getting to know Shane on a level that, like, I don't even think Shane knew he was doing. But by the time he got to that Boston house, he had a 12 pack of ginger ale ready for him. And, like, obviously, everyone's talked about, like, the symbolism of that throughout the rest of the episode, Shane was never able to get that ginger ale, only at Ilya's house. And so it
Yep.
was interesting that, like, we know that Ilya had been thinking about that moment for weeks and, like, perfectly played the fact that, like, we've gotta get him the ginger ale because that is, like, his comfort drink. But I also thought it was interesting that, like, he knew that, but then was kind of like, "Well, let's just see if this tuna melt thing sticks or not."
Which is
Because
a wild thing to think and a wild dish to try it on. Cheese and tuna is crazy.
it is! It is absurd. I don't even know where to start, but also the way he asked if I were Shane, I couldn't turn down either. I
No.
get it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, yeah.
we have the ginger ale. Then, the moment that kills me and I wanna, like, barf in a bag is is
Not
that
barfing, I'm back.
because it just, like, makes me so sick, it's so, like, lovesick, it's so cute.
Mhm, mhm.
Is that Ilya makes a joke about the New Yorker and Shane's dad in 14, right?
Yep.
I think it is, or like at least earlier, that by the time we get to the cottage, 3.5 years later, we have him remembering that exact dialogue
Oh
about,
my
I'm
gosh.
trying to get to know your parents better, but I will never forget the fact that we talked about your dad and the New
Your boring dad
Yorker
who likes the New Yorker.
who likes the New Yorker and then ends up being my best. Oh, well,
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna cut that.
Mm-mm. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I was gonna say ends up being my best friend that we eat pasta with at the dinner table.
That.
Um, I just love him. He buys a Russian vodka, right, at the dinner,
He
like, at the
does. He
house, like,
does.
he ends up being my
Listen,
man, that's my
he
man.
likes the good
Um,
stuff.
yeah, but it's just like, oh my gosh, like, he remembers that, and then we also were talking about, obviously, like, when they're eating the burgers, and I love how Leah tries to act like he's kinda trying to remember something where he's like, "Oh, your parents' names are David and Una, right?
Come on, sir.
You've
Hmm.
known this. You've known
You've
this since
known this.
2008. You've known this since 2008. Why are we talking about this?" And then my favorite moment, and I have it as like my iPad background and I can't deal with it, is when Ilya approaches Shane on the beach and it's like, "Oh, I looked up the word compatible."
Hmm.
And for me, that just means so much because Shane doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's like, "You did what? What?" And Ilya's just like, "Oh, compatible. I thought I knew what it meant, but I wanted to be
Yeah.
sure." And he's like, "Oh." And it's like, yeah, okay. Shane is just kind of like, "Oh, okay." But like that moment just shows you in general, both in the book and on the show, that like Ilya hangs on Shane's every word.
Yes, yes. Listen, in the words of Pacey J. Witter, that man said, I remember everything. And he really does. Like, truly, really freaking does. Okay. The P and J
Get
of it all.
out!
The
Get
P
out!
and J of it all, y'all.
I
You know,
actually cannot deal with the fact that Ilya's memory is this good because it pisses me off
it's
to the
that
point where I
good
just wanna, like, throw
and it's that
things.
long. It's that long. And I just want a similar parallel shot to the one that we got when Shane is coming out to Rose and he goes back and thinks in his memory about all of the moments with Ilya, because Ilya would be put it in 4K. It's going to be 60 minutes long or longer. And I want to see that because there's a
Get
Rolodex of,
out!
there's a Rolodex that he has in his memory of every single joke that Shane told him. Oh my God, every single time that he folded a pair of pants.
It
Like,
makes me so mad. Imagine the
it's
shirt.
crazy.
Oh my god, Hollander, you are so boring because it's
And what
like,
does that mean?
this
And what does that mean?
represents
That means I love
ev
you.
it represents everything. I'm so
Uh,
annoyed.
oh my God. Oh my God. You are so boring. It really means I love you. That's code word, y'all. In case
You're
y'all
so
didn't know. That is
boring.
code
I
word.
remember everything about you.
Every
Everything
single
about you.
thing. Every single thing. And the things that, to your point, Nicole, that Shane doesn't even remember, that Shane doesn't even recall, that Shane probably can't even recall that he told Ilya or talked about to Ilya. Ilya remembers all of it. And it's just, these are the things that he holds on to in those moments they're not together. Holds on to like each and every one of
He
them.
makes me
And
so upset. He
he really
makes me
does.
so
He really
upset.
does.
Because
The,
there's something we didn't even talk about.
throw
When
me
he's
out.
watching that freaking cottage documentary And not only does he remember, the layout, because then they're joking about like the ensuite bathroom or whatever, but
Mhm.
also at the end, near the end, where he's doing all those handstands in the water and he's talking about, hey, is this where you do yoga? And then Shane's like, "Oh, you watched that or whatever he said. And
You
it's
watched
just
that?
like, oh, girl,
Baby,
he watched that.
listen.
He
He watched it on repeat.
committed to
He was
memory.
on repeat, okay? He had that TiVo'd.
Yeah.
But, like, the thing is, he probably even knew about that damn well. When Shane, like, had
No,
told him about the well, he
that's
said,
why
"I
he
know about that
laughed.
damn
That's why
well.
that's why
I
he
know
was
about
like,
that well.
he
I
was
know
like,
about your
"Oh,
well,
look,
boo."
look, look." He said, "Oh, I can't believe you brought that up here because you also brought that up in the documentary. That's
Exactly.
crazy."
I know about your well, boo. I
Yeah,
know
yeah, yeah.
everything about you. And I love that. That is, like, their shared history and also, like, just an indicator of how much
Oh,
they know each other. He
yes.
knows so much about him.
And
Like,
wants to.
no, and wants to know more. That's the thing. He's like, "I can
He
never learn enough.
sucks
I
at
can
like, he
never
wants it. He
I
like,
can never
ugh.
learn enough." And also, just like from that point on that we're in the cottage, my life is going to be dedicated to learning everything I can about you as you are now and as you grow and change. And where can I get one? Okay? Can you order them up?
Yeah, Rachel Reed. Tell her to write a new
Rachel,
fucking book series.
Rachel, can we wear size this shit? Listen, get them in the lab or something. I
This
want one.
makes me so mad. He remembers every single thing. He
He
wants to know
remembers
every single
everything.
thing about Shane. He wants to like know Shane better than anyone else. And you know what?
Hmm.
It's too much for me. It's too much. Like, I mean, this for me is like the one thing that when I first watched the show that I was just like, this is what makes their connection so special, but particularly
Yeah.
like Ilya so special as a romantic love interest like character is that you see throughout the series, throughout the books, whatever it is that like he just he he acknowledges and recognizes and understands Shane in a way that like I mean, it's a love language of its own, right?
It is.
And
It
I
is.
just ugh.
That no one ever could. Like, no one could ever know Shane or love Shane the way that Ilya can. And
No,
that's the beauty of their relationship. Because
no.
it's the same for Shane to Ilya.
Yeah.
I
All
love
right.
them.
Before I fucking, like,
Jump out the
throw
window.
my whole life away. Yeah.
You about
Um,
to-
Tyra, what is our number one? Ilya was low key down bad with Shane.
Girl, it's only apt that after we just talked about how he remembers everything, that we
Oh,
talked about
oh,
how much he wants to live within him. He said, "I want to live inside of Shane's skin. I don't want to think another thought unless Shane thought it first."
that,
Okay? That's what he said.
hey,
That's a direct quote from Ilya. I didn't say that.
we didn't
the
say
deleted
that.
version. The deleted version. But let's just like talk about it, y'all. We talked about the fact that Rose is a source of contention for them. He is constantly jealous. We see him when they're outside in Shane's cottage, and Shane gets that nice little text message from Rose. First of all, to Ilya's point, what is funny? I don't understand what's so funny. Rose is not funny. But it's the fact that just like anything that takes Shane's attention away from Ilya, especially in that moment when they finally got into a place where they can be with each other, he's not having that shit. We see it later when he's playing games with Shane and Hayden calls. Which, Hayden, you have a baby. Like, worry about your wife, worry about your newborn. Why are you
Yeah,
calling
yeah,
Shane
yeah,
right
yeah.
now? But
Also,
it's just that
who cold calls these days?
for real.
Don't
You want to text that man first and see if he was available?
don't cold call me. That's crazy.
Hayden is out of control. But yeah, anything that takes Shane's attention away from Ilya just can't stand it because it's just like I need you to be like directly connected to me in all moments. Like I'm
Yeah.
directly connected to you. Like Ilya in that moment when he accepted coming to the cottage, that came with a mission. Like I want to
Mhm.
make sure that this person knows that it's me and him forever. There is no alternative. There's no other person for him. There's no other person for me.
No.
And
No.
anyone who gets in between that is an enemy forever. So Rose is an enemy forever. Hayden is an enemy forever. Like he wants to be so much in Shane's skin that he wants to play Shane on the Montreal Metros in their NHL game. Like,
Yep.
you just
Yep.
cannot, you are on the fucking cover,
In
to your
that
point, the fucking cover of the game, but you want to be Shane Hollander because you just want to know what it feels like to be that good, to be that wonderful, to be that amazing of a person, because that's the pedestal that Ilya put Shane up on. Shane is like this idealized figure to Ilya that is just
Yep.
so untouchable, but somehow Shane has allowed Ilya to touch him, and just how much he reveres that, and there's reverence there. And we see him,
Yes.
Nicole. Listen, they've spent a full day together. They've been all up in between the sheets,
Yeah.
playing games
Yeah.
together, and still somehow that's not enough because Ilya still wants to wear Shane's clothes.
Yep.
When he's on that
As he
couch and he's
should.
rocking that little plaid, I mean, I would
He's
too.
cold.
Rocking
It's
that plaid,
nighttime.
it's cold, it's nighttime.
It
Rocking his
is.
little plaid button up. He just, I mean, he had no other shirts. He didn't have any shirts of his own. He just wanted to grab that one off the floor because it smelled like Shane.
When's the last time you saw Ilya wear a long sleeve shirt
You know what? That is a
lounging?
fair point. Ever. Never, ever. I don't
He
think he
don't
owns
got
one. You're right
look,
about that. He don't own one.
he don't got no lounge long sleeve shirt. That man
he
said,
he
"Titties
really
out, arms
doesn't.
out," and
Titties
I feel
out.
it.
Listen, he's like, I want to feel Shane. Listen, Shane just wore this. I can still feel the heat from his skin.
I can
It
smell
still
him. I can
smells like
smell
him.
him.
It still smells like him. Just
Mhm.
that is the epitome of down bad, when you want to live inside someone's skin, when you are just that codependent, you are just that, I don't, that's a level beyond being connected. I don't know. That's just like true
Yeah.
symbiosis at this point. You just,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
it's
that
crazy.
Ilya definitely wants to live inside Shane's skin. And I think that, at least to me, like from some of the examples that we talked about, like what's really funny is that um at least if we're just thinking about season 1 of Heated Rivalry, yes, Ilya is looking at Rose and Hayden, and these are 2 people that essentially get to live in Shane's skin. Like, obviously not
Yeah.
in the same intimate way, but they get to have him in a way that Ilya never can outwardly and publicly. Like, the
Yeah.
fact that, yeah, they can just, like, randomly text him and the text says from Rose, or, like, randomly cold call him and it's from Hayden and they're just talking about life things. Like, on the outside, it's like it is funny to watch him be jealous and like can't handle this for 0.5 seconds of the time he's at the cottage. But at the same time, two things. One, I have a limited amount of time with you. Why are you answering these calls and
Mm-hmm.
texts? But also, two, like, yeah, from Ilya's point of view, it's like this does make me feel some kind of way because, like, I am in your phone still probably to this day as, Lily. And
I
also,
know.
like I can't just cold call or text you in this way and talk about my life and you just answer in public or whatever it is. And so there is like a sense of like, I just want to be able to live in the way they get to live. And so, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, if you keep reading, you'll get to know more about what Ilya feels about Rose and Hayden. And I won't go
Yeah.
into that
Yeah.
now because I won't spoil anything. But yeah, I loved that they added those touches in the cottage episode because
Yeah.
it did kind of show that dynamic. But then also, yeah, it also just showed you how obsessed that Ilya was with Shane outside of that. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that he's wearing his clothes so early is just like, I've always wanted to do this with you.
Yeah.
Like, if
Yeah.
I
He got,
could,
yes. Yeah,
I
he
would
got
have
to,
loved to, like, every time I left your hotel, like, take a shirt of yours with me, or, like, have
mm-hmm.
some piece of you with me, and, like, now I get to do that with you in my
Yeah.
presence, like,
Yeah.
ah,
That's the
you
thing, to
know?
have some piece of you always. And you get to revel in
Mhm,
your obsession. Like, that's what the cottage is. It's like this dream like scenario that we never thought we'd get. And we get to like live
mhm,
and out and enact all of the fantasies that we had. Especially for Ilya, and someone who denies himself that emotional intimacy that, he has been wanting from Shane. And he finally gets to enact. And to your point, this is finite time, right? It will run out at some point, and then we're back to square one. And they still, at that point, don't have a good basis for what that's going to look like later on. But yeah, just
Mhm.
let me live in your skin for these entire 10 days. And I completely understand that.
Oh
Like,
my
I get
gosh.
it. I get it. I would
No.
too want to live in my man's skin for 10 days. Yeah. Don't nobody call. First of all, phones are turned off.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
not even having that
the
issue.
phones are turned off, but then also, like, for Ilya, it's like, he gets to also be, like, pampered this entire time, like, you see Shane, like,
Mhm.
being like, "Do you want pasta or hot dogs?" And like, "Oh, I have Cokes for you," and, like, "Here are
Fine
chips,"
gourmet
and, like,
meals.
"LOL." Yeah, yeah, and it's just like, yeah, because this man has never probably cooked a day in his life, but he's
He gonna
trying to
try.
do right by you, and
Yep.
it's just like, oh, it's like Ilya is finally getting, like, this, like, dream to your point, this dreamlike scenario that he has with this man who's always just, like, looked up to or at least been in, like, some kind of situation with him where he's like, "I want nothing more than to, like, be with him or
Yeah.
be able to be in his presence in a way that, like, it's just he and I and not thinking about anything else," until he finally got to have it. But, like, truly, truly, this man wants to, like, live in his skin, and you saw that in these scenarios, but then also, like, what we talked about in the Louvre episode where they well, not finally, but where they're having, like, penetrative sex after they say, "I love you," and it's like,
Mhm.
you like, Ilya I've never seen someone on a television set want to, like, deep dive as a character into someone's, like,
Not want to, he
actual
did.
skin
He did
the
deep dive
way
into
that he did in that
He did.
moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Yeah, like,
do. Yes, he did.
and
Mhm.
it's like, oh my gosh, like, Ilya finally got his wish. Like, the cottage felt so satisfying because everything that you felt like this character had yearned for 5 episodes finally came true in this, like, 50-minute moment, and,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I loved
It
it.
was so beautiful.
Mhm.
So that is our top 5, you guys. And as always, we have honorable mentions. So Nicole, what is your honorable mention of a time when Elliot was just down horrendous, down bad?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know how people are gonna think about this, but mine is when Ilya decided that he was going to move to Canada slash marry Svetlana. Now, y'all are gonna say, well, that's not really him down bad. Like, he's like professing his love and all these things. But to me, there was nothing before this moment that pushed him into this scenario. Like, these are very big, like,
Yeah.
acts of, like, him being so down bad for Shane that he's willing to, like, risk a lot of what his life is to get to some kind of end game or, like, solidify who they are as a couple in that way.
Mhm.
Particularly him deciding to move to Canada because even though, Shane I think the thing is the reason why I chose this moment is because Shane really wasn't getting it at that point, that that's what he was talking about, like, I'm not just, like, wanting to move to Canada for the sake of moving to Canada, like,
Yeah.
you are probably 97% of the reason why I'm telling you this right now, and Shane
Mhm.
not understanding that, but him risking it's just like a hockey player, and I don't think this is really talked about a lot, at least in the heated rivalry universe outside of like the long game, that like if you're a really, really good player in a professional sport, leaving a team that you pretty much have made really good is crazy. Like it is unheard of in
If
the
you're not
real
getting buku
world.
money.
Yeah, in the real
Yeah.
world, it is rare that someone is leaving a team that is like, "Oh, y'all are like you're the franchise player of this team." Yeah, unless it's money or like there's something really wrong.
Yeah.
And so for him to bring this up to Shane in that way, that was like for me at least watching episode 6, it was like he's had such a great time he has been in such just like this dream scenario with Shane. And it's like, this turned out better than I could have ever imagined these last 36 hours or whatever it was that, like, I don't want to be without this. Like, let
Right.
me think about what I can do for that to happen. Okay, well, I think I need to move to Canada. I think I need to leave the team that I'm really good at and go to a really, like, potentially terrible loser team
Yeah.
that I know I can at least be with the man that I love. And I felt like that is I think we all know that, like, the 15-year plan of Shane is a big deal or whatever it is, but I think Ilya even bringing this up is a bigger deal because it's like, "Wait,
Mm.
do you know what that means when you're saying this?" In a
Mhm.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Well, starting with, like, Ilya, like, suggesting moving to Canada, moving to a different team. Like, it's really at that point that you see that, you know, I don't have any other option. Like, I can't stay here because, like, Shane is the most important thing to me at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
down bad because he's like, "Yeah, there's no other option." Like,
Exactly.
if there is something where I don't get Shane at the end of the day, I don't want it. And if
Yep.
that's Boston, I don't want it.
Correct.
I'm good
Correct.
without it. I'm good without it as long as I have him. And
Mhm.
I don't know what's more
Mhm.
down bad than that, to be honest, because you're essentially giving up what you have known. Like, Boston is what got you out of Russia.
Yeah.
And you've
Yeah.
developed a relationship with that team, with that ownership, with that city. Like, for all accounts, it seems like it's a place that Ilya loves, but all
Mhm.
of that pales in comparison to
To
getting Shane.
Shane.
Like,
Yeah.
Shane is the end goal. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I need to figure out how I can make that work. Which and it's just so sweet, Ilya trying
It
to come up
is. I
with a plan.
know. Don't get me started. Don't get me
Bless
started.
his heart, him trying to come up with a plan
It's
because
so
then to, like, talk
sweet.
about marrying Svetlana, who's a US citizen, and then,
He's just
yeah.
trying. Like,
He's
he's
trying.
literally like,
He's
Shane,
literally trying.
I have to be with you. These are the only
Yes.
two options I have. Like,
And the fact that he couldn't wait
ugh.
longer than 2 days. He's only been there 2 days.
I
Y'all got
know.
8 left.
I
He
know,
could
but
he's like,
mm,
he's like, "I actually need to get this off of my chest right
like, we've
now.
got to make this
Like,
work.
we
And
gotta make this
really,
work."
kudos to Shane because Shane, after talking to Hayden in the blowjob, he's like, "Hey, I want you to know that like this isn't just like fun and games for me anymore, and it hasn't been for a while." And I think that
Yeah.
was a catalyst for Ilya to finally be like, "All right, well, I can kind of expose a little bit about my feelings for you and like what I want to
Mhm.
happen." And like, yeah, to your point, it's like Ilya isn't Shane in the sense where Shane had the time to, like, think through this, like, plan, but for Ilya, he was so desperately in love and desperate to be with him, he's just like, "Hey, I can go to Canadian team, I can marry my best friend who's American, but these are the 2 options that sound crazy, but, like, they
Yeah.
all lead to you, and that's
Yeah.
all I literally want right now."
Exactly. And how do I make the complication of me easier for you? And that's okay, I'll move to the, country that you're in. I'll move to city that's closer. Like, I need to make this worth Shane's while. That's also, like, something
I
that's constantly going on through his head.
I'm so down bad, I will literally become a loser for you. Like, not trying to be funny, but, like, literally, that is what Ilya, from a professional standpoint, is saying, like, "I all these things that matter, you it doesn't." And so, like, I know we joke about it, and Tyra, I tell you this a lot, but, like, it is so sweet that, like, Ilya is literally on his phone on that couch and is like, Shane is doing his nightly routine on his phone, doing like Wordle or whatever he's doing. And then Ilya's over there spiraling, like, how am I going to bring up to this man that, like, I'm trying to be with him forever? I can marry
He's
my
like,
best
"How
friend.
long does it take to get
Like,
citizenship? How long does that take?"
it's so endearing. It's so just like, you want this man so bad. And I don't think it's talked
Yes.
enough about the fact that those two things are why he says that. It's like, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Shane.
It's Shane. It's Shane.
Ilya, I
Listen,
get it.
in a world where in relationships people are doing the bare minimum, that is refreshing to see someone
Uh,
going above and beyond. He's like, "I'm gonna make it work.
it's
Figure it
just
out."
so sweet. It's so sweet because Ilya will never give himself away in that way, but when you look at what he's saying and doing, it's like, that's why he went to the cottage. And I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
guy. I love him.
That's my guy.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So, Tyra Tyra, what is your honorable mention?
Okay, y'all. Like, I have never seen Connor's story give this
Mm,
look before or since in the show.
okay.
It is a look that is filled with so much earnest love and just heartfelt. So, going back to episode 4 when Shane and Ilya are on the couch in Ilya's house, and
Mhm.
Ilya says to Shane, I'm lazy about finding another woman. And Shane saying to him, I don't know that side of you at all. And the
No,
look
I'm done. I'm done.
the look that Ilya gives Shane, first of all, the like turn of his head and like the light catching his eyes and how
Mhm.
incredibly soft he was after that because Shane saw him in that moment. And I think this is the first time since his mother died that he has felt really, truly seen by someone outside of his mother, and to a degree, Svetlana, but truly seen in that moment for who he was, who he wanted to be, and who he's been
Bye.
trying to be.
Bye.
Because Nicole,
No.
that look,
No.
Connor's story,
Stop.
who did you love before? And did you give them that look? Because I don't know how you act that out. I don't know. That is a deep, genuine well of emotion that
That's what we
appeared on your
call
face.
an actor.
That is an actor.
An actor,
Um, an
okay?
actor. It just, my God, the
Let me tell
smile that
you,
he lets off, like the heart eyes that he gives to Shane in that moment. Like that's when I knew. That's the moment I knew when he's just like, oh, I will be in love with this man for the rest of my life. I will love you forever.
and then when this lazy comment happened and you could tell that years later that ate Ilya alive, and Shane is just like, "Yeah, that is literally not the Ilya Rozanov I know."
No,
And no one has probably said that to Ilya
no.
ever. And there was the thing is, it's very similar to a lot of things that Shane does, which is like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying this for a reaction. I'm not saying this to make you feel better. It's like, I'm just being the most truthful version of myself. You said this thing. I don't agree with it. I'm going to say it, you know? You told me about your mom. I think we should start a charity in honor of her name and suicide prevention. And it's just like things that I feel like Ilya is just not used to receiving, which is like complete and utter and pure love and appreciation for who he is as a person. And that moment
Mm-hmm.
alone, it was like you could just tell that took Ilya's breath away
Yes.
and like just made him feel appreciated and valued in a way that who
Insane.
knows if he's
Yeah.
felt that
Yeah. Yeah.
outside of just like,
Yeah.
the
It's
hockey world particularly.
and it's to your point, like Shane always has these kind of moments, right? Where he is kind of allowing Ilya to rewrite the past. Like there's this quote from this movie. It's like the past is just a story we tell ourselves. And
Mm,
these are just the stories that Ilya
yeah,
has heard over and over and that he tells him about himself. And what Shane does in that moment is allow him to rewrite his own story and look at himself a
yeah,
different way because he sees himself through Shane eyes. And that's what Shane does for him. And
mhm.
it's like if Shane is saying it, it must be true. Even
Yes,
if in that moment I can't see it or I don't feel it, it must be true because
it
Shane is
must be
someone,
true.
yeah, Shane is someone who is honorable and honest
And
and
tells the
just, oh,
truth in that
and tells,
way.
yeah, yeah. And oh, you just see the like love all over his face. And that's when you're just like, I ain't never leaving this man. Ever.
And that's when I also knew as a viewer that I was like, you know, he is down bad for him because
Yeah.
legitimately, like, he had no reason to react. Like, there was no reason to react in that way. Like, what Shane said at the surface level, if you were just to like, okay, yeah, no, I actually don't know you to be lazy. Oh, okay, thank you. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
it could just
Right.
be like, okay, thanks, but like, oh my gosh, like he knows Ilya. It, it's just like he knows Ilya so well in a way,
Mhm.
and just
He
like,
does. He does. 'Cause he could lean into the joke too. Like, just Ilya's
correct.
making a joke, just lean into it, right? No,
He's
he's
just
like,
like,
"That I
I
don't
don't
know
know
that
that
side
side
of
of
you
you
at
at
all."
all. Like, I actually don't know that side of you at all, and it's just like, and I think in that moment too, it's one of the moments or like in episode 4 that shows us, that Ilya's yeah, I think to what you just said, like Ilya's able to see the version of him that Shane sees. And
Mhm.
I don't know if before that, because they've had such fleeting moments where they're not able to just sit and really be together and talk about these things, that like
Yep.
he was ever able to see the version of himself that Shane sees.
Yep.
And I think once he saw that, it just was such a beautiful, like, still moment. It's just like you could just see on Ilya's face where it's like, "You have no idea how much that meant to me, how much this means to me."
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
and I think
Mhm.
and that's some of the most beautiful moments, I think, in all of our lives where people
It
do
is.
and say things that are like, "You have no idea, you just changed, like, the trajectory of my life or how I feel about myself or, like, how I'm dealing with this particular thing," and that's
Yep.
exactly what Shane did.
Well, everyone, that wraps up our top 5 list and our honorable mention. Nicole, any final thoughts before we get on up out of here?
Only that Ilya Rozanov is the lover boy of all time, and it was really fun talking about that aspect of him this week. And
Yeah.
that you may not see us for a couple of weeks. Obviously it's summer and we have been churning out weekly episodes for you all and we love it so much, but also we have a life.
Need a
We
little
need
summer break. We need a little summer break,
to
y'all.
we have a life we're gonna get to, visiting family and just like
Yep,
tending to some of our friends and personal lives a little bit
exactly.
for a
Going
couple weeks.
outside a little
So
bit. Yeah.
you'll see us in the community. We have a few things we still like want to engage with you on, and then obviously we'll be back in a couple of weeks because we know filming's coming up, and we have some
Casting announcements,
episodes,
hopefully.
casting announcements. Hopefully, by the time this airs, maybe that already will have happened. Who knows? But if not,
Yes.
obviously we have some fun stuff coming up. In the heated rivalry world. So we can't wait to
Yep.
get back to these episodes. But for now, you'll see us in the comments, you'll see us in the community, and we'll be back with full episodes in a couple of weeks.
Enjoy your summer, everyone. We'll see you when we
Yes.
get back.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye.